Chapter 5 Briefs Part A Land Ownership and the Law of Tort. First we're going to discuss about trespass. So number one, wrongful entry. Someone goes onto another's property voluntarily without express or implied permission or some other lawful excuse. Basically mean when you enter someone's land voluntarily without their permission or implied permission. Express means clear when both party agrees. Implied means you just assume it or some other lawful excuse. So number one is wrongful entry, and the number two, wrongful remaining. The initial entry was legal, but the person remains after the right of entry ended, such as Safeway. So you have entered Safeway is already closed. Now they say please leave, and you're still there. Other is wrongful placing object into or onto another person's property. To be trespass, it must be a result of direct positive action, such as leaving your tools behind without permissions. So basically the tradesmen work without the owner's permission, they leave the tools behind. There's also wrongful placing. You are playing golf and the golf lands into somebody's yard. So trespass means when you enter, basically wrongful entry or wrongful remaining on the property or wrongful placing. So no actual damage need to be proven to succeed a legal action trespass. If you want to sue somebody, you don't need to prove the legal damages. You don't need to prove the actual damages in order to sue. So that's very important to remember. So characteristics of trespass. Number one, intentional. Voluntarily, the trespasser had control over his actions. So basically, trespasser has control. Basically, he goes himself. Number two, direct act. The trespasser is the direct result. The trespass is the direct result of some action by the person trespassing. So basically the person who is entering, he is the reason for trespassing. Actionable per se is very important highlight. Actionable per se means you do not need to prove damages. You don't need to prove damages in order to sue somebody in trespassing. So three characteristics: voluntarily, intentional, direct act, and actionable per se. Who can sue in trespassing? The persons occupying the land. The person in possession of the land at the time of the trespass can sue a trespasser. Landlord can only sue if the damages in this amount by which the value of the property is lessened as a result of trespass, not replacement cost. Basically the landlord can sue if it reduced the value of the property because of trespassing, then you can sue, right? But not on replacement cost. Replacement cost means you get paid whatever you need to replace the property. And what are the remedies to trespass? Damages. The measure of damages in the amount by which the value of the property is lessened as a result of trespass, not replacement cost. Basically, you can sue for damages. Two, injunction. Injunction means court order to stop someone who is continually trespassing. Stop someone to enter into your property. So basically court's order. Self-help. A person can reasonably use force to remove someone from their land after they have asked them to leave. Bouncer in a pub can help you to leave. So this mostly comes damages, injunction and self-help. These are the three remedies. Who can sue in trespassing? Landlord. Right? What is the definition of a trespassing? Means wrongful entry, remaining or placing. Whether it's knowingly, unknowingly or by mistake, still is trespassing. Defenses to trespass. How can you defend yourself? Number one, lawful exercise of a right of way. So you can say, you know, in law, you are protecting yourself, right? Lawful exercise. 2. Express of implied permission of the occupier. Express or implied. You can change to or. Express meaning the occupier has allowed you to come. Implied mean basically you assume yourself, but the landlord says okay, right? Peaceable entry by a person entitled to possession. So peaceful entry basically. Who wants to entitle? For example, a tenant, right? Entry by landlord or sheriff in order to alleviate distress. Right? So entry by landlord or sheriff. Levy distress means the tenant has not paid, now they have to just take over, right? Entry by a person to abate a nuisance. Abate means reduce. Reduce a nuisance. Entry under statutory authority. Entry under legal authority. So remember these one. Number one, lawful exercise of right of way. Express or implied permission. Peaceful entry. Entry by landlord or sheriff to levy distress. Entry by a person to abate, to reduce a nuisance. Entry under statutory authority. This is a very important section. Mostly comes in the exam. So once again, they will ask you, what do you mean by trespassing? So the answer is, trespassing when you enter, place or remain on someone's property, whether knowingly, unknowingly or by mistake. So then they ask you, who can sue? Landlord, right? Or whosoever occupying the property can sue. Do you need to prove the damages? You don't need to prove the actual damages to sue. What are the solutions? What are the remedies? Damages, injunction and self-help. So what are the defenses? So there are 6 lawful exercise, express or implied permission, or peaceable or peaceful entry by a person entitled to possession, entry by landlord or sheriff in order to levy a distress, entry by a person to abate a nuisance, or entry under statutory authority.